Okay, so like we all know we should exercise, right? But between work and family and just life in general, who actually has the time to like become an expert on all the latest fitness trends?
Right.
Exactly. And that's where this deep dive comes in. We're taking a look at this fascinating podcast called Health Unlocked,
Mhm.
and we're going to break down the most important takeaways so you don't have to.
It's like a cheat sheet for better health.
Exactly. And get this, they said that people who exercise regularly could actually add up to 7 years to their lifespan.
Wow.
I know, right? But it's not just about living longer, it's about living better, feeling stronger, thinking clearer, having more energy for the things you love.
But they really emphasize quality of life, not just quantity.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's start with the basics, the physical benefits.
Okay.
We all know exercise is good for our heart, right?
Right.
But this podcast actually explained how different types of cardio affect your blood flow differently.
I'm just...
Like, they said that moderate cardio, like brisk walking or cycling for just 30 minutes 5 times a week, can reduce your risk of heart disease by like a crazy 40%.
40%? That's huge.
I know. It's like a daily tune-up for your cardiovascular system.
That's a great way to put it.
And what about strength training?
Yeah.
I always thought that was more about like building muscles and looking good.
Right, me too.
But they talked about how it can actually help prevent osteoporosis,
Oh, wow.
which is like weakening of the bones as you age.
Right, which can make you more susceptible to fractures and things.
Exactly. So strength training isn't just about aesthetics. It's about maintaining your independence as you get older.
Being able to move freely and do the things you enjoy without limitations.
That's huge. Okay, so we've covered the heart, we've covered the bones, but what about the brain?
Oh, yeah. The mental health benefits were fascinating.
Weren't they?
They actually cited studies showing that exercise can be just as effective as medication for some people with anxiety and depression.
I was blown away by that.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And they explained that it's because exercise triggers the release of endorphins.
Those feel-good chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a natural mood booster.
Absolutely.
But it goes beyond that, too.
Yeah, for sure.
They talked about how exercise can also improve memory and focus.
Like it actually enhances cognitive function.
It's like a mental upgrade.
I love that.
A mental upgrade.
And they also talked about the sleep connection.
Oh, yeah.
You know how they always say exercise helps you sleep better?
Right.
Well, they explained why.
Yeah.
They said that exercise not only helps you fall asleep faster, but it actually increases the amount of time you spend in deep sleep, which is like the most restorative type of sleep.
The kind that leaves you feeling refreshed and energized in the morning.
Exactly. And get this, they even suggested that certain types of exercise like yoga can further enhance sleep quality because of the way they impact the nervous system.
It's like they're giving you the tools to hack your sleep. I know, right? Okay, so we've talked about the physical benefits, the mental boost, the sleep connection, but this podcast takes it even further. They talk about the long-term benefits of making exercise a regular part of your life.
And this is where it gets really exciting.
Right.
Remember that statistic about potentially adding 7 years to your lifespan?
Mm.
Well, those extra years aren't just about quantity.
Right.
It's about the quality of those years.
So are we talking about like reducing the risk of chronic diseases?
Exactly. Things like diabetes, arthritis,
Yeah.
even some types of cancer.
It's incredible.
It's like an investment in your future self.
Yeah.
Imagine being 70, 80, even 90 years old and still being able to do the things you love.
Yeah.
Travel, spend time with your family garden.
Without being limited by pain or health problems.
Exactly. You're giving yourself the gift of a healthier, more vibrant future.
And what about the social aspect of exercise? I feel like that's something that's often overlooked.
Oh, it's so important. Whether it's joining a running club or taking a yoga class or even just going for walks with a friend.
Yeah.
Exercise can help combat loneliness and build connections.
And having those social connections is so important for our overall well-being.
Absolutely. It's like a win-win situation. You're improving your physical health and your mental health at the same time.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. The physical benefits, the mental boost, the sleep connection, the long-term impact, the social aspect. It's amazing how much exercise can actually do for us.
Right. It's truly transformative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But now I'm curious, from your perspective, what's the most compelling reason for someone to prioritize exercise, even if they're feeling overwhelmed or unsure where to begin?
That's a good question. I think for me, it goes back to that idea of exercise being a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a punishment. It's not a chore. It's a gift you give yourself. An investment in your well-being both now and in the future.
I love that. A gift you give yourself.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be complicated. You
Right.
don't have to become a marathon runner or a bodybuilder
Hmm?
to reap the benefits. Even small steps can make a big difference. Like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, going for a walk during your lunch break, dancing to your favorite song.
It all adds up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And every little bit of movement is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
I think that's a perfect place to wrap up part 1 of our deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground today, but there's still so much more to explore.
Right, like how to actually get started with an exercise routine that works for you.
And how to stay motivated even when life gets in the way.
We'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll delve into those topics and more, so stay tuned.
All right, so we're back. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty pumped up after hearing all those amazing benefits of exercise.
Right, it's like eye-opening.
It really is.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, okay, great. All this sounds amazing in theory,
Yeah.
but how do I actually make it happen? Where do I even start?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And luckily, the Health Unlocked podcast had some really solid advice on this.
Oh, cool, good.
So, like, first things first, they really stress the importance of starting small.
Okay, so we're not talking about like running a marathon tomorrow?
Uh-huh. No, not quite.
Okay, good, because that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, they suggest starting with something manageable, like maybe 10-minute exercise sessions a few times a week.
Oh, that sounds way more doable.
Right. And then as you start to feel stronger and you build that consistency, you can gradually increase the duration and the intensity.
So it's like building any new habit, really.
Exactly. Small steps lead to big changes.
I like that. But they also talked about the importance of finding something you actually enjoy, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's actually one of the key takeaways.
Like if you hate running, don't force yourself to run.
Exactly. Find something that gets you excited, something that you look forward to.
So if dancing sounds fun, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
If swimming is more your thing, dive right in.
Yeah. They even had this great analogy. They said it's like choosing a flavor of ice cream.
Oh, I like that.
You're not going to force yourself to eat a flavor you don't like, right?
No way.
So why do that with exercise? Experiment, try different things, and see what brings you joy.
It makes so much sense when you put it that way.
Right. And it doesn't have to be one thing either.
Oh, you mean like mixing things up?
Yeah. Variety is key, not only to keep things interesting, but also to challenge different muscle groups.
So like aim for a mix of cardio, strength training, and flexibility exercises.
Exactly. They give some great examples, like for flexibility, maybe try yoga or Pilates.
Okay.
For strength training, you could do bodyweight exercises, weightlifting, or even just working with resistance bands.
And for cardio?
Oh, the options are endless. Running, swimming, cycling, dancing, hiking.
So many choices.
I think the key takeaway here is that movement should be fun.
Yes, it shouldn't feel like a chore.
Exactly. So find what lights you up and get moving.
I'm curious, from your perspective, what's the biggest mistake you see people making when they're trying to establish a new workout routine?
I'd say one of the biggest pitfalls is setting unrealistic goals.
Yeah. I've definitely been guilty of that.
We all have. It's like we get all gung-ho and we're like, I'm going to work out every single day for an hour.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks later, you're burnt out.
Exactly. And that's when people tend to give up altogether.
So it's more about being kind to ourselves and acknowledging that it's a journey, not a race.
Exactly. Celebrate those small victories.
Yeah, like what are some examples of small victories?
Well, maybe you walked an extra block this week, or you held that plank for a few seconds longer than last time, or you finally tried that new yoga class you've been wanting to try.
Okay, those all sound achievable.
Right. And those small wins build momentum. And that momentum is what keeps you going.
I love that. It's so easy to get caught up in what we haven't achieved yet and forget to acknowledge how far we've come.
Absolutely. So remember to celebrate yourself along the way.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they're feeling inspired but maybe a little overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
What's one simple step they could take today to move towards a healthier, happier them?
I'd say start by asking yourself this question. What's one thing I can do today to move my body in a way that feels good?
Ooh, I like that.
Right. It could be as simple as taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or walking during your lunch break, or putting on your favorite song and dancing around your living room.
It's about finding those little pockets of opportunity to incorporate movement into your day.
Exactly. And trust me, those small steps, they can make a world of difference.
So true. This has been so insightful. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on exercise.
Me too. It's really about making it a part of your life, not a chore you have to check off your to-do list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I think there's one more important piece to this puzzle. Motivation.
Oh yeah, motivation is key.
Because let's be real, even when we know all the benefits and we have a plan in place, staying motivated can be tough.
It's true. Life gets busy. We get tired. Willpower fades.
Exactly. So how do we keep that exercise momentum going even when we'd rather just curl up on the couch?
Well, the Health Unlocked podcast had some brilliant tips on that, and I think that's the perfect place to pick up when we come back for the final part of our deep dive.
Ooh, I can't wait. We'll be back soon with part 3, where we'll uncover the secrets to staying motivated and making exercise a sustainable part of your life. So stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. We've explored those awesome benefits of exercise and even tackled how to actually get started. But let's be real for a sec. Staying motivated, that's the tricky part, right?
Yeah, I mean, life happens. You get busy, tired, that couch. It's looking real comfy some days.
Exactly. So how do we keep that exercise momentum going even when we're not feeling it? Luckily, the Health Unlocked podcast, they had some smart tips for this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. One that stood out to me was this idea of shifting your mindset.
Oh, interesting. Like how?
Instead of thinking, ooh,
Yeah.
I have to work out, try flipping it to I get to.
I get to move my body. I get to feel stronger.
Exactly. It's not a punishment. It's a gift you're giving yourself.
I love that. It's all about perspective.
They even suggested keeping a journal. After each workout, write down how you feel.
Oh, so you can actually see the positive changes.
Yep. That energy boost, stress relief, better sleep. It's like proof right there in your own handwriting.
Powerful stuff. So we've talked about this before, but it's worth repeating. Realistic goals.
Oh, absolutely. Baby steps, my friend. Don't try to go from 0 to 60 overnight.
Okay, but what about those days when even a 10-minute walk feels impossible?
Oh, trust me, we all have those days. That's why you got to have a backup plan.
Oh, like what?
Maybe it's a quick yoga flow you can do at home. Or put on some music and dance it out with your kids.
I love that. Something fun and easy, no pressure.
And another thing they talked about was finding a workout buddy. Accountability, you know?
Yeah, knowing someone's waiting for you can really help you get out the door.
And it's more fun. Misery loves company, but so does fitness.
Haha, so true. Even if you don't have a specific buddy, joining a class or an online group can help.
Totally. That sense of community can be super motivating.
Okay, but what about those of us who need, tangible rewards?
Oh, the podcast had that covered too. They said set small, non-food rewards for yourself.
Ooh, example.
Maybe it's a new workout outfit, a massage, tickets to a concert, whatever gets you excited.
I love that. A little something to look forward to. They also talked about not beating yourself up if you miss a workout, right?
Oh, huge one. We're human. We have off days. Don't let one missed workout derail everything. Just get back on track the next day.
It's all about progress, not perfection.
And listen to your body. Feeling tired or sore, take a rest day. There's no shame in that.
Pushing yourself too hard can actually backfire, right?
Definitely. If you're consistently struggling with motivation, maybe you need to switch things up.
Try a different activity, a new workout buddy, maybe adjust your goals a bit.
Exactly. Find what works for you. Experiment a bit.
This has been such a fantastic deep dive into the world of exercise. I feel like I have so many new tools and perspectives now.
Me too. It's not about being perfect. It's about finding what you love and making it a part of your life.
Beautifully said. And as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. We've talked about goals, finding activities you enjoy, those small victories along the way. But ultimately, the most important thing is simply the decision to start.
Absolutely. That's where magic happens.
Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive. We hope you feel inspired to unlock the incredible power of exercise in your own life. Until next time, keep exploring, keep moving, and keep diving deep.